Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking a look at ticker symbol TOPS, that's Top Ships Incorporated. The chart we have here today is a 5-minute chart. Each candlestick on this chart representing 5 minutes of trading. So this is a very intraday chart going back from all the data today and a little bit of the after hours from yesterday. But really we just want to focus on most of the trend today on an intraday level. So with that said, it looks like I accidentally cut off the right hand side of this chart so you guys can't see all the data there in terms of the price range. My apologies on that. Normally we'd have those numbers over here, but since we have so many pivot points anyways, it won't be too relevant and you'll get the picture based off the pivot points. So with that said, let's get right to the pivot points. Alright, so right there at the top, the very top of the chart, we have the white line there. That's the high pivot point that I want to see this push to tomorrow. That's going to be 737. And actually, since we don't have much room, why don't we go into our text and just kind of make it that way. So 737 is up here. That's the pivot point I want to see it push to tomorrow. But in order to get there, we have two other pivot points to break first. Next one coming down is 694. Right below that, we're looking at 670. And below that, we're looking at 635. That's going to be our support, of course. And the next area of support is going to be 607. And then we have 580. And then all the way down here, we're looking at 415. Now 415 is the range, is the top of the range that we had during our pre-market and open. So during the pre-market, we were here, and then we opened right, about, what would that be? Right about 440. So we broke 415 and had the open, big, huge green candle there, and then it just pressed on up. So the reason why we're looking at 415 is only because that's the top of the consolidation that we had during the after hours period. So if for whatever reason we broke 580 and fell all the way down to 415 and that broke, then this stock is going to look pretty dead. Obviously, if it breaks 580, it's going to be pretty dead on an intraday level, erasing all the gains that it had today. But if it breaks 415 as well, then it's not only breaking today's gains, but it's also breaking gains that it had from yesterday as well. So very bad if that happens. So let's just kind of reiterate that. This is 737, 694, 670, 635, 607, and 580, and 415. So overall, this stock absolutely killed it today, up at the close 155%. However, most of those gains were at the open. You can see we have this huge green candle spanning from about 440 all the way to that 580 pivot point, the high touching the 607 pivot point, and then we just had some consolidation. We made one more run, fell back down here, and just kind of had some consolidation trailing between all these pivot points before making another really nice push up in the middle of the day. So actually this was one of the safest areas that you could have gotten in on the stock today. It had a very clean breakout as it tested the 607 pivot point, and it broke out there and had a very clean run all the way up to 709. And then after that, it was just downtrending the rest of the day. And there really wasn't another play. Unfortunately, it was down and it never really broke out of that downtrend. But you can notice what's interesting is this yellow line. That's the 50-period moving average. That 50-period SMA, it acted as trailing support the entire day. You can see here it broke up and didn't really test it, but when we had the consolidation and the trend was kind of making, it wasn't exactly a downtrend entirely. It was mostly consolidation, but you can see that it did form a bit of a wedge. We had those lower highs, and it did end up coming and testing the 50 SMA there, and then all here, all the way up to the close where it pushed up a little bit more. So pretty interesting. What we want to see happen tomorrow is that it stays above this 50-period simple moving average, that the 13 and 20, that they don't converge too much. Otherwise, we're just going to see more consolidation. For example, here, when they're all converged, that's when we had that really choppy price action. So you can see they're starting to diverge here. If we had more time than today, I think maybe we could have made one more push up and tested that 737 area. At the very least, tested 694. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. High of the day, 709 from that second push. First push here, second push here. Let's see what this does tomorrow. Those are the pivot points that I'm going to be watching, so you guys know the setup that I'm going to be watching. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, and don't hesitate to subscribe if you haven't already, and you're more than welcome to join us in our chat room. We're there every day, activeinvestors.net. Hopefully we'll see you there, and if not, we'll definitely see you around somewhere else. Have a good one.